S.O.W. We are located, of course, in Houston, Texas. The school address is 231 FM 1092, Stafford, Texas, zip code 77477. Class times and days is Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. Fridays from 6 to 8, Saturday from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. We got a school in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. The address is 2610 Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia. School address is 23517. Class times and days is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And we have a school in Rochester. Address is 1600 Lyle Ave, Suite 1A, Rochester, New York. Zip code 14606. The class times and days, the schedule is all the same as Virginia. It's 8 to 10, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, Eastern Time. Saturday from 10 to about 2 p.m. as well. We also have the school in San Antonio, Texas. Address is 4444 Walden Road, Suite 201, San Antonio, Texas. Zip code is 78218. Class times and days is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 7:30 to 10 to about 10:30. Saturday from 10 a.m. to about 4 p.m. We ask that you like, share, and subscribe to the 4 schools, to the Houston, the Virginia, the Rochester, and the San Antonio channel. Like, share, and subscribe to Mashaba's Blog Talk Radio. Like, share, and subscribe to the 5 Minutes of Wisdom Hidden True Bible Show. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already to the kids class, which we do on Sundays here in Houston. And yeah, there's a lot of different things to like, share, and subscribe to, but a lot of different ways for you to get your information. A lot of different avenues. Got Israelware. Israelware is accepting orders up until, they're about to stop if they haven't stopped already, actually. Because they stopped during the time of Passover. They stopped during the time of They stopped when Passover come around. And yeah, if you'd like to attend the Hebrew Academy, we got Virginia and Rochester. They do it every Monday. Here in Houston, we do it every Tuesday. And if you'd like to contact any of the priests, we got Quatzazop to my right. His number is 303-557-8979. Ted Stoney during class. Kazak, his number is 757-300-4047. Ted's only during class as well. And we got Priest Zionala out here in Rochester. His number is 346-234-8340. Ted's only during class as well. And of course, we can't answer calls during class. So if you'd like to support, you can hop on sweetonbeyonce.com. Please support our business. You can hop on chosencreations.com through the Etsy store. Get you a nice, just a nice, get you something nice, pretty much. If you'd like to donate, man, you can donate. Donations are definitely welcome and needed. So yeah, that's it for the announcements. Let's open it up for class.
Does anybody got any Advil or Tylenol or ibuprofen? I've been asking for a lot. I'm sorry. Got a bad headache.
You got a BC powder?
BC powder?
What is that? Okay.
Headaches?
Is it gonna do something?
Oh, it's gonna knock it out real fast.
Yeah. I can get that.
Might wanna pack it down first. Yeah. Put it on your tongue. Let it eat.
Snort it, then
So I'm gonna do that on camera. They're gonna be like, see, taking cracks.
drink some water with it.
I got water.
What you say? What were you saying, sis?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a banging headache. I don't know what's up.
Yeah, you might wanna go on, yeah. Hurry up. Go with it.
Maybe a little bit more water than that.
Yeah, you need a little bit more water. A little bit more water.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more water.
Mm-hmm. Did you mention Hanukkah?
Looking out. You're looking out. I almost forgot. I'm sorry. Hanukkah How did I miss that?
It's not in there.
It starts
okay.
tomorrow night.
Yeah, so Hanukkah starts tomorrow night. About to sneeze. Hanukkah starts tomorrow night, so Virginia will not be live. No, it'll be Rochester. Rochester will not be live tomorrow. And pretty much you won't get class from Rochester and Virginia until next Friday. Because Hanukkah, we start Hanukkah Thursday, which is tomorrow, and it's gonna carry on until next Thursday.
Friday. It's an 8-day.
Oh, it's not here. So from Thursday to Friday. That means that Virginia won't be live Friday either.
Y'all won't see us till next Saturday. Either way. If you want to come celebrate the feast, you know where we at.
Yeah.
Where we at. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You gave me your allergies.
Nah, it's the thing burner. I was fine until.
Let's get into this class, unless y'all got any questions. Anything that y'all want to talk about before I have this discussion with y'all? I want to discuss a few things. I'm gonna have a discussion. This ain't gonna be class A. This is gonna be a discussion. I want to actually talk, right, about a few things. But the title of the discussion is I spelled that wrong. We gotta fix it. You know, preventing fornication in a marriage,
Kind.
right? And this is just one of those. Look at me. This is one of those air quote discussions that you kind of got to have every so often, because there could be a level of forgetfulness as, you know, you take on certain things, you take on certain duties, coming back to the Most High, and there's a level of forgetfulness in the relationship when it comes to maintenance. Go to 1 Corinthians. Go to 1 Corinthians 7. I need a good reader that's gonna read good. Right? Remember Zoolander, he said, the school for the kids that can't read good. Y'all ain't messing with me. Y'all ain't
Never
messing
seen
with me.
Zoolander.
Huh?
Never seen Zoolander.
Oh, wow, you gotta see Zoolander. Oh, so you made a school for kids that can't read good? So that's not good English. But anyway, I digress. 1 Corinthians 7, and this is where we're gonna kind of be for a little bit. It's not gonna be like a long, drawn-out discussion, right? But this is just a reminder, and this is the thing. Paul had to do it. He had to remind the people of the church about their relationship and how to prevent fornication, right? He had to remind them. That's why this letter is written to these Corinthians. So read 1 Corinthians 7, and you're going to start at verse 1.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7 and verse 1.
Right?
Now concerning the things whereof you wrote unto me.
So this is a response. This is very important. He said, concerning the things you wrote unto me. So obviously he's saying that now this is his response to the things that were reported to him previously. Go ahead.
It is good for a man not to touch a woman.
Right. So he starts out, it's good for a man not to touch a woman. What is he endorsing here? What is he endorsing? What type of lifestyle? McGunn.
Celibacy and abstinence.
Okay, celibacy, abstinence. What would that be called biblically?
Abishai.
Eunuch.
Right. He's endorsing a eunuch lifestyle. Go to Matthew's real quick, 19 and verse 12. And what is he showing us? That there's nothing wrong with this lifestyle.
Matthew chapter 19 verse 12.
Yeah, you set yourself up. Cause they're gonna smoke you today.
No,
Yeah, they're gonna smoke you.
mad.
You ain't gonna get no scriptures today, I can guarantee you.
Mad.
Read that.
Matthew chapter 19, verse 12.
Go ahead.
For there are some eunuchs
Right,
which were so born
right.
from their mother's womb,
There were some eunuchs that were so born from their mother's womb. Go ahead.
and there are some eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men,
There were some eunuchs that were made eunuchs of men. Go ahead.
and there be eunuchs which have made themselves eunuchs.
Right, this is where Paul fell, where he made himself a eunuch. You see that?
This category.
He fell into this category. It was 3 categories of eunuchs, right? So you had eunuchs that were made eunuchs. We know the Babylonians, when they took us, right? One of their customs was to castrate the men and little boys, right? And not just the Babylonians, but other customs also, other captivities. But the Babylonians, that was their thing, right? Then you had some that were made eunuchs from their mother's birth, from their mother's womb, right? It could be some type of birth defect or some type of vow, right, that they made. And then you had men that said, you know what? It's better for me not to touch a woman for my life. Go ahead.
For the kingdom of heaven's sake.
Right, see that? For the kingdom of heaven's sake. For the work. Drop that. Go back to 1 Corinthians 7. So there's a lot that we're unpacking real quick, right? There's a lot that we unpack, I feel, real fast, that Paul is endorsing this lifestyle because, remember, for Paul, it was about giving himself wholly to the ministry, being available, not having the cares of the world, and then having the cares of the church. He knew to function in his life. And remember, he wasn't like that after he dealt with Yahushua. He was like that before. You don't read about him having women and children, right? So his whole life was dedicated to the duties of the church, whether he was Saul or whether he was Paul. Go ahead, read on in Corinthians.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 2.
Right?
Nevertheless, to avoid fornication.
To avoid what?
Fornication.
To avoid what? So
Fornication.
he said, nevertheless, to avoid fornication, go ahead.
Let every man have his own wife,
Right, let every man have his own wife, go ahead.
and let every woman have her own husband.
So what is he endorsing here? What is he endorsing? Huh?
Marriage.
He's endorsing marriage, right? So on one end, he's endorsing the eunuch lifestyle, which is what he was a part of. But then he's also coming back and saying, look, it's okay to marry, right? To prevent fornication, it's okay for a woman to get married. It's okay for a man to be married, right? Go to Hebrews 13 and verse. Go to Hebrews 13 and verse 5. Wow. I told y'all. Y'all got my gun started. He ain't the shield today. He's the weapon today. Read that.
Hebrews 13 and verse
4.
2.
No. 13 verse 4.
13 verse 4.
Right?
Marriage is honorable
Go ahead.
in all,
Right?
and the bed undefiled.
See, marriage is honorable in all. What is the all? Marriage is honorable in all. So I'll frame the question a different way. What does marriage consist of? Like, what makes a marriage? What makes that relationship? That's the question I want y'all to answer. Sis, give me some components.
Communication.
Okay, I'll give you that one. You give me one. Everybody gonna give me one. Communication. Sis. Yep. Angela.
Covenant. So, or you want just like.
what falls under that covenant? Like,
Loyalty.
okay, communication, loyalty, respect, boom,
Trust.
trust. Come on, bro. There's more than you thinking of. Come on. He stole your answer? Come on. You got something else? Come on. All you married people should be able to zip, 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 right on top of your head. What else? Respect. Did somebody say that?
Yeah.
Okay, you stole hers. Respect. Now, okay, let's do it like this, because is a marriage, to make it easy for everybody to give an answer, is a marriage any different than like a relationship, besides the intercourse part? Is it any different? Are there any different components? Like a brother and brother, or a sister and sister? Right, so it should make it easier now. So what else? Respect, communication, trust, what?
Understanding the person you're dealing with.
Understanding the person you're dealing with, patience, what else? Now think about a marriage, what else? What?
Compromises.
Oh, I like that. The C word, compromise. What else? These are things that make a marriage. What else? I was waiting for somebody to say that. Right? Because that's a big part of a marriage. You know when you go to church, when you go to church, and when you get into like religious institutions, or sometimes when we crack open this Bible, we get prudish. Like, oh my God, can't think about the sex part, right? Can't think about the intimacy part. Like, oh, right? We don't want to. What do they say? It's taboo.
Yeah.
It's like we'll talk about everything but that, right? In church, do they have these talks? Like openly?
No.
No, of course not. Right? Because they don't get it. What was the first thing that the Most High told Adam and Eve?
Be fruitful.
Be fruitful and multiply.
I mean, how do you do that? You snap your fingers, and all of a sudden, babies come. We just gonna be fruitful and we gonna be fruitful and like we gotta. The problem is this. There's a reason why Paul. Read on. I didn't really prepare too much for this class. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of going off the top of my dome. So if it sounds a little choppy, it's because I didn't. It was in my mind, and I'm like, let me just talk about this real quick with y'all. Go ahead.
Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence.
Right. So, due benevolence. What's that? What does it mean that something is due? Rent's due.
It's owed.
That means that you owe. Rent's due, right? So you owe. What is benevolence? He's a benevolent man. She's a benevolent woman. What you got?
Benevolence.
Right?
Of bone.
Uh-huh.
The disposition to do good, goodwill, kindness, charitableness, the love of mankind accompanied with a desire to promote their happiness.
See that? So it's a desire to promote another person's happiness, right? The will to do good to that person. So I know we can say, well, he's talking about doing good to people, right? He's just talking about doing good. It's nothing more than that. But that's why we gotta read on, right? Because he's literally gonna tell us what he's talking about in the next verse. Go ahead.
And likewise also the wife unto the husband.
So what is it about this due benevolence? Why is it due benevolence? Because it's not just one over the other, it's both owe to each other. You see that? It's something that both parties have to be willing to give to one another. Right? Which is going to do what? Promote the goodwill in your relationship. It's gonna keep the health of your relationship going, right? But it's intimacy. It's very important. And in some respects of the word, it's more important for men to have that intimate connection than it is for women, because we just are wired different, right? That physical connection, men need that, right? We need that physicality. We need to have that, to experience that. Now, am I saying that that's the only part of the relationship? No. Right? Because you can have all the communication in the world. You can sit there and listen to all her problems. Right? You could be the best husband in the world, but at the end of the day, literally at the end of the day, right at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, drunk, right? I'll be here all week. At the end of the day, right? That's how men are wired. Right, we're wired a little bit different than women are. Not saying that women don't need intimacy, right? But it's just we're set up different, right? Read on.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
The wife have not power over her own body,
Go ahead.
but the husband.
And this is how we know that this is talking about intimacy, right? And the power over the body. And it's not just intimacy solely, but when it says the wife had not power over her body, you know what it means? That she can't just go out and do whatever the hell she feels like she wants to do. Oh, I'm about to give me an OnlyFans today, like old boy's wife, Joe Smith, right? They're broke, and she's like, I'm gonna just open up an OnlyFans to make money. He's like, no, shut it down. She's like, well, we need money. That's not what the scriptures say. The scriptures say that a wife don't got no power over her body to go just do that. If she's a wife. Now, a whore, she can do whatever she wants, right? Concubine, she can do whatever she wants. But a wife, it's a little bit different. Where Paul is instructing this church in Corinth on how they need to be mindful on how to, promote the good health in their relationships, right? That, yeah, you can sit around with each other and work and talk and, bounce the kids on your knees and do all these different things, but there has to be this due benevolence that's part of the relationship. Why? Because why does it have to be reminded? Well, just think about it. When you're the foundational piece of something, isn't it easy to get wrapped up solely in that thing and forget about the other things you have going on, right? Isn't it easy to, and we try to train brothers in, like the scriptures say, those that have wives be as though they have none. But does that mean that you literally don't have a wife if you're married? No, it means your focus, right? It means that it's about balance, because coming out of the world, what are men trained in when it comes to women?
Get as many as possible.
Okay, that's one. That's not the one I was looking for. But get as many as possible. But as far as how to deal with them, what are men told? Or how are men shown how to deal with women? Isn't it to just make sure that you give everything to them, all your time, right? Just give them everything with no balance, with no filter, and that's gonna make her happy. What's the saying?
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy life. But what if she's impossible to satisfy? Well, you gotta climb mountains, you gotta slay dragons, you gotta go kill the bear, you gotta swat the fly, you gotta kill the roach, you gotta catch the rat, you gotta trap the spider in a cup. You got to do everything to please this woman, and she can still not be satisfied. And then you got to keep going the extra mile. That's how the world trains men to deal with women in all nationalities and all levels, right? He got to go out and literally like the scriptures say in Ezra, he has to go out of his wits in order to please this woman. Now, when brothers come into the truth, we teach them what? It's balance, right? We teach them that if a man can't take care of his house, how can he take care of the church? Right? That things have to be now put in its proper perspective, right? That if I have a duty and you have a duty, that our duties come first to the Most High, but then the Most High is not forgetful to open up little times of relaxation and rest for us to enjoy each other, right? It's like that, but only if you understand that concept. But sometimes, you know, we can get to this point where I'm too busy, and I'm caught up in the busyness of everything. I'm putting myself in front of the work or whatever it is I'm doing, and that's capturing all my attention. And then now when it's time for my husband or when it's time for my wife, when it's that little moment to give them that time, I'm too caught up, right? And then what happens? Well, everything else around that starts to decay, right? The communication starts to decay, right? The all the things that you guys named, right? I mean, let me ask y'all a question, because I don't want to just talk.
Can I say one thing?
Oh, yeah.
Before you do move?
Yeah.
You were talking about like how how people can be busy doing a lot of different things and forget about certain things. Certain things start to slip through the cracks. You know, remember the story with Christ and Mary and Martha.
Mary and Martha.
And Christ was there, he was teaching. You had, I think it was Martha that sat at his feet and listened.
No, it was Mary that sat. Martha was the one
Martha was the one that was busy.
doing dishes and trying to serve food.
Yeah, Salakia. So Mary was the one that sat and listened, while Martha was running around doing everything else, making herself super busy, right? Now, do you have to serve food? Con, you do, right? Do you have to do certain things have to happen, like the natural functions? It has to happen, right? But in that scripture, it had said in that scripture that Mary had chose the right part.
The better part. It said Martha was cumbered about with many matters.
Mary had chose the better
Mary
part.
had chose the better part was to sit with Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, so it's like sometimes, when you look at it, yeah, like dishes ain't going nowhere. The cleaning of the house ain't going nowhere. The servitude, it's not gonna go anywhere. Like our duties as men, our duties as women, it's never gonna go anywhere. If you're a husband, you're gonna do your husbandly duties. If you're a father, you're gonna do your fatherly duties.
His job, her job, it
Never
ain't going
changes.
nowhere. Like,
But there's times when you gotta be able to see when, okay, yeah, this is my duty, and this is a thing that needs to be done, but this is a thing that really needs to be done right here. That's right now, this is the greater part, because I can see that this is what's lacking, or this is what this person needs, or what's lacking just in a relationship. So it's like when that happens, then yeah, all the other stuff don't matter. Well, it should matter, because whatever is lacking now becomes the greater part. So just wanted to throw that in there before you do.
let me ask y'all a question. First of all, and y'all online, is what I'm saying making sense? All the brothers gonna say con. Now let me ask you this: is it relatable? Can y'all relate to this, brothers and sisters? So this is something that, if we're being honest with each other, is this something that you could say that it might not be happening presently in your relationship, but it's happened? God? Okay. I mean, I just want to make sure that, it's something that we can understand, because then it's gonna make it more relatable. Because these are things, I mean, listen, we grown people, right? And if Paul had to address it way back in this time, did it stop? No, it didn't stop. It didn't stop because we're always going to be, again, busy or distracted, right? There's always going to be something that prevents you from, doing those certain duties, or that can pop up to present you from doing those certain duties. And really, we got to recognize it because it can have an effect on your relationship, right? Like if we talking about, just think about it. You ask the old timer that been married 70 years, what was the secret? What was the secret? Right? They may not have the Bible, but they tell you, like, look, transparency, right? Communication, giving a person their space, knowing, you ask some of these older grannies. There's one woman, she died recently. She was like on TikTok. They be asking her questions and she got a real foul mouth. Y'all probably seen it. But she was married, I think, for a long time. Obviously, she outlived her husband. I think they had asked her, like, what was the secret? What was the secret to being married for so long? And she, her answer was very carnal. It was very carnal. But she was on that intimacy level, like, look, we was on it, right? We didn't lack in that department. And so that's what she credits for her relationship. Now, we know, being the truth, it's not just a physical thing, right? It can't just be physical. It has to be a balance, but it has to be balanced. That's the point. It can't just be one thing over the other, or an extreme amount of this over an extreme amount of a lack of that. Because after a while, that is going to cause friction. That is going to frustrate, right? It is going to cause a lack of frustration, right? I want you to do me a favor. Go back to verse 2 real quick. Read that.
2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, to avoid fornication,
Go ahead.
let every man have his own wife.
So, fornication. I need somebody to look that up, but I need you to look it up in the Bible, in the Strongs. I need the G number. And I want you to tell me what the Greek word for fornication is. Ooh, buddy. Ruffle some feathers. He said to avoid fornication. Right? What's that word?
So the word for fornication is porneia.
What is it?
Porneia.
Porn?
Porn. Yeah.
Porn, right? Porn, Porn,
Right.
is what it starts with. EIA. Pornia, right? Porneia. However you pronounce it, but I know porn,
Right.
right? That's the first one, is porn. That's the first word. So think about it. He said to avoid fornication. Now, do me a favor. Get the definition of fornication. This is important. This is very important.
God.
Because when do benevolence ain't happening, what do people usually turn to? Don't they turn to some level of fornication? Let's see what it consists of. Read.
Fornication.
Right?
The incontinence or lewdness of unmarried person,
Right?
male or female.
Right?
The criminal conversation of a married man with an unmarried woman.
Check this out. I'm going to go for the Thayer definition. Adultery. Lesbianism. Right? Intercourse with animals.
Incest.
Insects. Right? Illicit sexual intercourse. Right? So it's labeling those things as fornication. But I'm going to throw one more in there. Masturbation. You know why? Because he just said in the next verse that the man don't have control over, or the woman don't got control over her body. The man is supposed to control, or alleviate those urges. But if there's not a due benevolence, then what's going to happen? Well, I'm gonna
They're gonna do it themselves.
do it myself, right? I'm gonna do it myself. So what is it telling you about due benevolence? That if it's not reciprocated, you can cause your partner to err, right?
Okay.
You can cause your partner, and you know, listen, being in the truth a long time, and you counsel a lot of brothers, and this is usually brothers. Brothers deal with this a lot, where Rib ain't trying to deal with them, and it's like, man, I feel bad because I've been masturbating. It's like, well, why you been doing that? Don't you got a wife? And it's like, well, she ain't dealing with me. She cut me off. I'm in the doghouse. Ooh, the Israelite doghouse, huh? Yeah. Then it's like, okay, well, what's the oh, she just be busy. She's too busy, or she ain't messing with me, right? But then, and am I saying, well, it's that woman's fault that man can't contain himself? No. But we got to see what we're doing to each other is the key. We got to see that. Go to Genesis real quick.
Can I throw one to your point?
That's where I'm about to go to my point. Where you about to go on my point?
Proverbs 14:1.
A wise woman? Go. Let me hit this one and then you can hit that one. Because I just want to show something in this Genesis real quick. Genesis chapter 2. And verse 24.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 24.
Go ahead.
Therefore shall a man leave his father
Right.
and his mother
Go ahead.
and cleave unto his wife,
Go ahead.
and they shall be one flesh.
They shall be what?
One flesh.
This is the point. You're no longer two people. And Paul is articulating this in this Corinthians that what you do or what you hold back can affect your husband. Or what the husband holds back can affect the wife. You see that? Because why? You guys are one flesh. You see that? And then it goes in, what is it, Matthew 19, it says the same thing, right? They twain become one flesh. Let's go there real quick. Go to Matthew's 19.
Matthew chapter 19.
What was that? No, you can pull from. Yeah, you got one. I just wanted to make sure I hit this point. Because this is important, because sometimes we forget. You found it?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 19 and verse 6.
Okay.
Wherefore they are no more twain.
Right. A married couple is no more two. You're no more two individuals. Go ahead.
But one flesh.
But what?
One flesh.
Now, where else do I want to go to prove this one flesh thing? Where else would I go? Where would the church take you? Come on, y'all know. Listen, where would Pastor Get More Money take you real quick in Ephesians? He can take you to Ephesians, right? Would he take you to Ephesians 5? To show you what? That y'all are one flesh and a man ain't gonna hate his flesh. A man's gonna feed and clothe himself, right? Come on, y'all know this. Come on, y'all. I told you this is supposed to be a talk, not a lecture. Right? Go there real quick. Ephesians 5:22.
Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22.
Go ahead.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband.
Go ahead.
As unto the Lord.
Read on.
For the husband is the head of the wife,
Okay.
even as Hamashiach is the head of the church.
Right.
And he is the savior of the body.
Right.
Therefore the church is subject unto Christ.
Right.
So let the wives be their own husband.
Right. Reverse 28. Yep.
Ephesians chapter 5 verse 28.
Right to the point. Go ahead.
So ought men to love their wives.
Why? Why should a man ought love his wife? Well, because they twain are now one. So if you're loving your wife, you're loving yourself if you're benevolent to your wife, you're really do benevolence to yourself. Wife, if you're benevolent to your husband, then brothers was waiting for that one. If you're benevolent to your husband, you're really promoting yourself, because let's do this real quick. Take away the intimacy part. And let's just deal with goodwill. Doing good towards a person. Why would a husband do good towards his wife? Take away the intimacy. What does he want his wife to continue to be?
Happy. At peace around.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna ride with you on that. Happy, have peace. Why though? Why? Why would a man want his wife to be at peace and to be happy?
So she can fulfill her duty.
Damn! So she can continue to be happy and doing what she was created for. Take away that intimacy part. There's still other components, right? There's still the help, the pillar of rest, the tower against death, the comfort, the kindness. Why would a wife be benevolent to her husband? Take away the intimacy. Why would you do that?
Because of duties and the things that the husband's supposed to do.
So he can be happy in fulfilling his duties. And what is the husband's duty? Not to kick his feet up and play PlayStation. What is it?
To protect, guide, lead, teach.
To be, you know what the husband's duty is to be? He's supposed to be like Christ was to the church. The protection, the cover, right? The leader, the spiritual guide. You see that? So what we got to ask ourselves is, I think everyone would have to examine their relationship, because I don't want to put nothing on nobody's relationship, right? But everyone would have to examine their relationship and say, well, wait a minute, is my wife happy in her duty? Is my husband happy in fulfilling his duty? That's a valid, I mean, isn't that a good question? Y'all ever think about that? Like, damn, is my wife happy? Is she happy to serve? Is she happy that I'm happy? Or is she just here because, you know what I'm saying, I trapped her with the Bible, I bang her over the head with scriptures to make her feel guilty, right? And tell her that Christ is going to kill her if she leaves me. Damn. Right? Is he happy to fulfill his duty? Is he fulfilling his duty and happiness? Or is he bound by the law? That man, you lay with her, you just can't leave her. Damn. Is he stuck? These are valid questions. Y'all online, look at your relationship, right? Look at your hubby, look him in his eye. And if you see pain and hurt and sorrow, if you see like that tear, if he looks like the dude from Get Out,
Oh man.
he was like crap. He had no expression, but he had a tear running down like, damn.
He stays at the gate.
Yeah, bro. He waiting for a way to get out. Dang.
Wow.
Right? But think about it. No, what it is this. Is he always grumpy? Is he happy to be home from a long day? Is he happy to come home, or is he trying to avoid home? Avoid you, avoid the children. Is he trying to mask or avoid his duty of what? Sitting down with you, hearing you out, dealing with your issues, or is he putting you off? You see that? I'm gonna let you come right in. Same thing. Why is she always too busy to attend to your need? Right? Is everything done haphazardly because of her busyness, or because she's trying to mask her unhappiness in her duty because of things that are not being reciprocated? These are valid. I think these are valid questions, right? If we talking about preventing fornication and promoting relationships, because let's be real, do you have a nation with just men? No, I mean, you'll have the Sodom and Gomorrah nation. That's what you'll have, but can you build a nation with just men? No, you can't. Let's be real. You can sustain it. But after all them men die off, where's the next generation? It has to be men, women, children. So that component that's needed, that starts with union, with a marriage, with promoting. You know, it's funny. I was sitting there. I came home last night. I'm gonna let you come with your scriptures. I know I'm talking, but I came home from Hebrew Academy last night, and it's like as soon as I get home, the kids want to come to my room, like they ain't been with me all day. They've been with me all day. I walk in the house, Daddy, ah! They jumping on me, and I'm like, come on, man, y'all just see me 2 hours ago, yay! But I can't cap on them. I'm like, yay, good to see you. So as soon as I start walking upstairs, Monashad turned up. He's bouncing, Daddy, Daddy. He's like, look, good, good. And the Warriors just behind him like, yeah! Right? So then I go to the room and I sit on the bed and I'm wrapping in my rib. And like I laid, like she was sitting in the bed and I kind of just laid back and put my head on her leg. Right? She kind of gave me a hug or whatever. And it's funny because the kids look at that and they be hating. Right? They all hate. Because as soon as she does that, they're like, no, that's my mom, or no, that's my dad. Right? He does it too. Right? He'll come and like try to wedge us apart. But I'm like, you know what? You know why that's important for them to see that? So that they can see that it's okay to you know, show that love towards each other. It's okay to, you know, it's okay for mom and dad to hug, and you know, I might give her a kiss and they're like, ew, like, you know how kids are, they're like, ew. And I'm like, man, get out of here, y'all, right? Or if I'm in the kitchen with my rib, and the older ones, they get all weirded out, right? They, like, if I hug my rib or if I get too close and I start talking in their ear, they're like, what are y'all over there doing? Ew. Right? I'm like, dude, what do y'all mean? We ain't doing nothing. Right? But you know, it's really trying to promote in the house, because what is something that a lot of our kids ain't seen, or we didn't see as children. We didn't see that love between mom and dad. We heard the arguing. We heard the breakups, the yelling, the screaming. We might have even seen some fisticuffs, some of us. Right? But did you see actual genuine love? Did you see ever your dad give your mom a real hug? Right? A real kiss. Hey, good to see you. A hug goodbye, a kiss goodbye, a kiss coming home. Right? To promote that sense of it's okay for a man to hug his wife. Right? It's okay for him to give her a kiss. It's okay to say I love you. Like, those things are okay. But you know, I was just sitting back thinking about it. I'm like, man, even though the kids hate, they need to see that. They need to see that early so that they're not weirded out and it's not cliche for them or taboo for them as they get older, you know, and they get into their marriages. They're not like, oh, you know, it's weird if you touch me, or it's weird if you look at me, or I've never been shown these things ever, so now I don't know how to reciprocate. We're going to talk about that part too. Where were you going to go? Proverbs 14:1, you still want it?
Proverbs chapter 14.
Yeah, let's do it. No. Let's read it. You know why? It's important. Watch, read this. Read it.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Every wise woman
Or man, every wise woman or every wise man, because the scriptures say men, husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. Right? So every wise man or woman, I'm adding that part in. Go ahead.
buildeth her house.
Or his house, but let's do it like this. Every wise couple builds their house. Right? Go ahead.
But the foolish
Go ahead. Pluck
it
it.
down
Go ahead.
with her hands.
Right, but a foolish couple is going to destroy their house through foolishness. Right? Through that lack of reciprocating the thing that you know your man needs. You know your man. Or the thing that you know your wife needs. You know your wife. Right? And that's where a lot of the damage happens, because you know what it is necessary. You know she needs that talk. You know she needs that talk, but not to be blazed. She just needs an ear and a little bit of a nudge. Well, you going with the straight sledgehammer. Or you know she needs to be checked hard, but you, oh no, I can't go so hard on my boob. You know what I'm saying? Because then she ain't gonna like me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? You know what he needs to be able to move through his day with a level of peace of mind. You know he needs a little quiet right now. You know he don't need to be bombarded with a million things at this very moment as soon as he walks in, because he just got done dropping a million things at the door. He know he got to pick up those 1 million things when he walks in the house. But give him a moment. Let him rest real quick. Let him relax 2 seconds. Right? Let him breathe in and breathe out. Right? We know what each other needs.
Yeah.
Right? And Paul is doing he's doing a way better job than me at articulating it, right? Because his words, the wording that he's using, like benevolence, right? It's a very big word, but it's an important word because it spans more than just marriages. Benevolence is something that that's a word for a camp. That's a word for brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, young children, old children, promoting the goodwill. Right? How many times do we sit back and say, man, I know that right now I'm bogged down with 50 million things. I got a lot going on, but how's my husband doing? Or man, I know I got a million things going on. I know it's late nights, early ass mornings, and no time to do anything. But man, how's my rib doing? Sometimes you have to drop what you're doing and tend to the thing that's most important. Like Yahweh Shai showed Martha and Mary. Sometimes it's not about being cumbered down with just moving your hands and doing things and putting things together. But sometimes it's about sitting down and listening to that person. You get more from just listening and hearing and being in their presence.
Yeah.
Right? And just sitting with them. I went on a date the other day. Right? Me and my rib went on this date. It was dope. It was hella dope. You know where I took her? So we took each other to 2 places in one day. I took her to Walmart. She took me to Walgreens. I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. What happened? So she had a tooth root canal. So she was out of work for a minute, right? Because she was in a lot of pain. So like on the day before she went back to work, she was feeling a lot better, but she didn't go, but she was feeling good. And it was early and the kids needed some breakfast. And I was like, she was like, I'm about to go get some breakfast. I was like, I'll roll with you. I was like, yeah, I'll roll with you. Right? And you know, when I say that, she looks like, oh, she gets all hype, right? Like, okay, we're about to go get coffee, and she knows what I'll roll with you means when we about to go to the grocery store. That means we definitely about to go get some coffee, right? We're gonna sit in the car and talk and drive and we laugh and joke, right? And bro, that's exactly what we did. We walked through Walmart, locked arm in arm, right? And we was just sitting there rapping about just the things that we can't talk about on a regular basis because she's busy, I'm busy. But that was our date. We went to Walmart, we got breakfast, and then I'm trying to walk fast to the car. She's like, no, babe, slow down, take your time. Take your time, you're walking too fast. I'm like, dude, the kids is hungry. She's like, they'll be all right. I'm like, you know what, you're right, they will be. Then we drive to Walgreens and we had to get some stuff no, it was actually Sunday morning. It was actually Sunday morning when that happened. Because he needed his stuff for his project. Yeah, but the point that I'm trying to make is it ain't about 5-star restaurants or any restaurant. It ain't about a park or holding hands. It ain't about none of that. It's about capturing the moment and the time that we spend. That's what we've come to realize is a date for us is either we getting extra old real fast or we're realizing that, look, we don't got time like how normal people have time to just go to brunch. You tell somebody you went to Walmart on a date, they look at you like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? Like y'all just did. Mm-hmm. On a Sunday, how come you didn't take her to brunch? Because we didn't have brunch time. That's why. But that nice cup of coffee, we were sharing coffee, babe. Sip mine. No, taste mine. Like, right? That's what we was on. That's what we be on. Right? But that promoting each other's goodwill. Like, I didn't have to go with her to the store, but I knew that going with her was going to promote the goodwill of our relationship, because I know what happens when we dip off from the kids, we like turn young. We turn to teenagers real quick. It's crazy. Right? We try to act all young, get all fly, throw our shades on, like we ain't got kids at the house. Right? Try to act extra young, right? But you know, we're understanding as we're moving through our life what promotes the goodwill. Now, are we great at it? No. Are we professionals? No. Is what I do for me gonna work for everyone? Nah. You gotta invent things, and you gotta figure out things and know what is gonna work. You gotta know your partner. Remember, two become one. You gotta know what make them tick. You gotta be able to read that body language and know, oh, she ain't with it today. You get on the phone with her, and you hear the cracking of the voice, like the spirit is leaving. Ooh, you got to be able to reinflate her spirit, right? Or him. He's angry, he's pissed. You got to be able to know, okay, well, instead of badgering him with what's wrong, let me just make sure that I got things set up for him when he get home. Right? I don't know, but everybody's different. But am I promoting the goodwill, right? Every wise man and woman is going to build their house. Right? But a foolish couple, a foolish man, a foolish woman, you're going to pluck it down little by little with all the other things that they don't have to be, but they can be distractions. If you don't know how to maneuver through this life and take moments that the Most High gives you, then you're going to miss the train. Because we don't get a lot of moments. We don't get a lot of free time. Right? But hey, let's go to the grocery store. Cool.
Hell yeah.
Right? Like my rib don't listen. You know, if y'all only understood. So what's today? Today is Wednesday. So if I didn't leave yesterday and rush home to rap to her, I wouldn't have saw her for 3 days. Because by the time she wake up and go to work and get home Monday, I'm already on the way to class, so I don't see her. Tuesday, I'm on the way to drilling, I don't see her. Wednesday, I'll be on the way to class, I don't see her. So think about it. I can go 3 days. And then tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's garment. She goes straight from work, 6 in the morning, all the way, get off of work and come straight to garments. And I'll see her tomorrow night. I'll be up. You see what I'm saying? So we always gotta maneuver our way through the schedule and not let the schedule be an obstacle. Y'all see that? Or else what? Well, what's going to happen? What's going to creep in? That fornication, that mind of let me figure out companionship some other way. Well, you ain't here to talk. Well, you know what? I'm talking to these hoes on my phone. Right? You ain't here to deliver. Well, somebody's going to deliver. Right? There's a dial-up service for everything. Right? There's a delivery service for everything now. They'll deliver something to your house, not just a pizza. You see what I'm saying? So,
Oh, wow.
right? Hell yeah, right? They deliver from this and that.
Oh,
I'm playing. I don't know, right? I don't know, but you see, my point is that need will be fulfilled. Is it the right thing to do always? No. Because that's where that fornication comes in. That's why Paul said this is how we avoid that. Right? Go ahead, read on for me. In Corinthians. Or where we at right now? Verse 2 where?
Proverbs chapter 14.
No, drop that, go back to Corinthians.
Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 3.
What's up?
Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence.
And you said what?
Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence.
Right. Remember, husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. Promote their goodwill. Because in doing so, you're promoting the goodwill of the family. Because think about it, if you're not promoting her goodwill and she's unhappy, after a while, you're going to be unhappy. And then the kids are going to be unhappy, and it's going to be a dangerous situation. Go ahead.
And likewise also the wife unto the husband.
Right, go ahead.
The wife hath not power over her own body.
Right, now I want you to go to Ecclesiasticus real quick. 25:23.
Fine.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25
Go ahead.
and verse
23.
23.
Go ahead.
A wicked woman obeyeth the courage maketh and
Wait,
hit.
no. You went too fast. A wicked woman abateth the courage. Now, this don't apply to no sisters in here right now, right? None of you sisters are purposely trying to diminish your husband's courage, right? How does a wicked woman do that? Well, she overtalks him. She beats him down with her words. She tries to usurp the authority. Sisters in here ain't doing that. You sisters online, y'all ain't doing that, right? So this part of the Bible don't apply to you today. Go ahead.
Maketh an heavy countenance
And maketh a heavy countenance. Go ahead.
and a wounded heart.
Go ahead.
A woman that will not comfort her husband.
This is the part of the scripture I want. A woman that will not comfort her husband. Go ahead.
In distress,
Right?
make it weak hands.
She does what?
Make it weak hands.
Yeah. See, what happens, he doesn't have to be in total distress like he needs you to rescue him from a burning building. No. That's not what it's talking about, right? But what it's talking about is when he's in need, right? When he's in need of a soft word, a soft touch, right? When he's in need of just a little quiet, a little he just want to throw his feet up real quick. I don't know, but whatever need he has, the whole point of that wife is to do what? Supposed to what, sisters? You're supposed to comfort him in that need, right? You're supposed to comfort him in that need. But then guess what? Let me show y'all something. Read it again. Read it again, and you're gonna switch the wording. The second part. Read it again. You're gonna switch it from woman to man.
Look at 1 Corinthians chapter
No,
7.
not 1 Corinthians. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna switch it from woman to man.
Hey.
A man. Go ahead.
From the top, right? Switch them in.
No, not from the top. Just from.
The second precept.
Yep.
A man that will not comfort
His
wife
right.
in distress.
See, now just think about it, because is not a man supposed to be a comfort to his wife? Shouldn't she have a level of, and when we use the word comfort, shouldn't a woman trust that man is doing his manly duties, building himself spiritually to be able to guide? Shouldn't a woman be able to trust in her husband's guidance and take comfort that a righteous man is leading? A man that won't comfort his wife is going to weaken her. Because then what are you teaching her?
She on her own.
Huh?
She on her own.
She's on her own, but you're teaching her an evil lesson. You're teaching her an evil lesson. Because now she's saying, well, you ain't comforting me in the things that I need. Because let's be real. Let's just get real basic with it. A woman needs to be led, and a man needs to lead. That's just basic, right? So we know that the roles have been switched around, and you got these women that are leading because the world tells them to. The devil himself is like, yeah, you're gonna lead him, and that's why the whole world is going it's like in the toilet and circling, because everything has been flipped upside down. A woman needs to be led. That's bottom line. A man needs to lead. So think about it. If the man ain't leading the proper way, it's not I'm leading because I got hair on my chest and my testicles dropped. No, it's wisdom, right? Knowledge, understanding. If a man ain't doing that, then what does the woman really have? Nothing. She got a boy. And just think about it. And if the woman is not by that man's side who is leading properly to do what? to alleviate some of the pains of having to lead, then what? What does that man have? Discomfort, right? If I got to throw you on my back and walk, at least scratch my back. Damn, when it itches. You know what I'm saying? If you right there, then scratch it. That's all, right? That's like the best metaphor I can come with. If I got to carry you on it, then at least when it itches, scratch it. You right there. But no, I'm busy. I'm too busy. I'm too busy looking out. I'm the tower. But wait a minute, you could be the back scratcher and because it don't take nothing to scratch a back.
Don't.
Right? Scratch my back and be the tower. You see the point? Like, what do you have except for now a whole nother person that you're carrying or that you're accountable for? That's rough for a man to know that I got to be accountable for this person, the kids, the rib, but then the accountability falls at my feet. But her job is not being done. But my job, no matter what, I'm accountable. Ugh, that's rough. Why do you think we get frustrated sometimes with y'all? Because, and we see it, the world teaches the sisters, our Black and Hispanic women, that accountability is off the table. You ain't got to be accountable, but the man got to be solely accountable for everything. It's a rough world that we live in. But what I'm trying to promote and show y'all is that the accountability rests on both of us. This is where we're equals. Where I got to be accountable for my end, and sis, you got to be accountable for your end. You got to be accountable for the things that you are made accountable for. Right? Go to Proverbs 31. Like I said, I'm kind of going off the top of my head real quick on this one. Proverbs 31, because I didn't want to, some things, man, you just got to kind of flow with it. Proverbs 31 and verse 11.
Proverbs 31, verse 11.
Right?
The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her.
See that? You see that? The heart of her husband trusts in her, a virtuous woman, a wife. But guess what? I'm going to do what I just did earlier. Doesn't the heart of the wife trust in the man? Come on. We can't escape that we're accountable for each other because we're one flesh. So if my mind is chaotic as a wife, that means it's up to the husband to be able to fix that. He got to get that under control. If I'm aggravated and frustrated as a husband, well, it's partly up to my wife to figure out, wait a minute, am I adding to those frustrations? Am I alleviating those frustrations? You're not going to be able to, the one thing I'm not trying to show y'all to do is, you're not going to, like how they tell you in the world, build up your man. You're not going to build your man. The Most High is doing that. Brothers is going to do that, right? But as he's building and going through those pains and getting those bumps and bruises, you could be there to throw a Band-Aid on it. You're not going to stop the bumps and bruises. You're not going to stop the things that a man got to go through in his life to build himself. But, man, he got a hurt elbow. Look, get some cream for that, right? Get the Bengay and rub that on, or the Tiger Balm or whatever. Wrap it. Do all that stuff. And he going, no, I'm good. I'm a man. And he's going to be like, nah, babe, come here real quick. And he's going to be like, oh, yeah, you know what? You're right. Go ahead and wrap that. That's how I am. I'm like, don't touch me. I'm a man. Then as soon as she does, I'm like, oh, dang, needed that. It's the best thing ever. Right? I'm like, nah. Law says I'm a warrior. Come on, man. We all be capping, right? But as soon as she give her 3 seconds, you're like, oh. You're like, go left, right? Wait. Look, a little softer, slow down, right? Because even sometimes we don't know how to accept the comforts, right? We so used to just going out in attack mode and just being bloody from spiritual war, physical war, right? We don't want to accept the thing that's going to power us up for the next war. We need that, right? But sisters need that too. She needs to be able to be powered up to be able to see you, what? Come home bloodied, come home bruised, come home battered, and she got to be able to have enough in her to stomach the bruises, right? She can't flip out and lose it. Like, I can't do this anymore. It's too much. Nah, you got to build her up to be able to patch you up. And as she patches you up, you get better, you go to fight. You come back bloody, bruised, she patches you up, and it's a reciprocal. See how that never stops? No matter what it is, the reciprocation is there, right? It's there. And guess what? I'm patching you up. You're patching me up. And be able to keep going to the next day, right? But if we're not in the mind of how do I comfort my wife, how do I comfort my husband, this is what happens. Read on. You, Corey. Just read it how it is. Read it from the top.
A wicked woman abated the courage.
Go ahead.
Make it heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, make it weak hands.
See, this is what happens. We weaken each other, man. Weak hands. What do the hands represent? Work. They don't want to do the work no more. They don't want to be around this no more. What's the benefit? What's the purpose? What's the point? If the person that's supposed to be helping me sift through this work don't want to do their part. Go ahead.
And feeble knees.
Now I can't walk. I'm too weak in the knee to carry you. I gotta carry you, but damn, the least you can do is put the Bengay on the knee, right? Massage the thigh muscle so that I still got strong legs. But if we don't comfort each other, right? We're gonna go back to 1 Corinthians 7. If there's no comfort, then really, what do I have? It's got a lot of weight on me. I got a lot of burden on me. And what does that burden do after a while? Come on. You break under that burden, right? You fold under that burden, right? Jump back to Corinthians.
Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 7,
right?
In verse 4.
Read on.
The wife hath not power of her own body.
See that? So the wife don't have power over her body. You can't alleviate the things that you need on an intimate level. And you can't just go do whatever the hell you want on any level. Your husband is supposed to control that. Read on.
But the husband, and likewise also the husband, have not power of his own body.
Right. See that? And likewise the husband. It's the same thing. He can't just alleviate. Remember, Paul is dealing with intimacy on this bulk of scriptures. He's dealing with it with the intimacy in a relationship. What is he telling you? You can't just go alleviate yourself. You can't just go hop on Pornhub and that's it. No, that's not what it is. Because now you're fornicating. Now you're committing fornication. It can't just be, oh well, be just so busy that, you know what, forget my marital duties. No, it says it's due benevolence. It's due. That's part of what you signed up for. But that's why Paul started out saying what? It's better for a man not to touch a woman. Because we were supposed to be about our duties. But if you couldn't balance out your duties, you got to pick one over the other. Too late though, right? Yeah. Now you got to balance it out. Now you got to figure out ways to reciprocate that goodwill. Read on.
But the wife,
right?
Verse 5. Defraud ye not.
Right. So check this out. I wrote down a few things just to like quick talking points. We're reminded of the valuable principles and everything connected with the duties of married life. We should consult the comfort, well-being, and happiness of the other before our own, and should be especially careful that we do not by any means, by any selfishness, cause one another to offend, because that's what will happen. If you're not promoting somebody else's goodwill, you're promoting your own. And what is that? Isn't that selfishness? Yeah. And how is that? Like, just think about it. Okay, let's read on. Let's read on. Let's read to the next verse.
Verse 5.
Right, go ahead.
Defraud ye not one the other.
Think about when you're defrauded. How does one feel when they're defrauded? When someone takes something from you that you know is yours, or you know is owed. How you feel? I mean, come on, like, huh?
Angry.
Yeah, there's anger, right? There's resentment. That's how these things build up, right? But think about, I'm gonna show y'all something. Think about two people in a relationship, and the woman locks off the intimacy. How does that man feel? How's that man gonna feel? That BC powder did something to a cat's life. Damn. That's the devil in there. How does that man feel? How does it feel, brothers? Y'all know. Come on. Okay.
Like he got played.
Oh, okay. No, you know what it feels like? You know what the first thing that goes through a man's mind is why she don't want me. That's the worst feeling a married man can have towards his wife. Why she don't want me. Because then it's like, damn, what's the point of being married? Is it just to do my job and to be accountable and not the other person be accountable for their stuff? That's the first thing. Why am I not good enough? Now think about that feeling of why am I not good enough? Now check this out, sisters. Y'all know good and damn well, why am I not good enough hits y'all 1,000 times more than it hits a man. Cause we can shrug that off. We like, man, you know what? Put a remote control at it. Right? We figure something out. We gonna get the PlayStation or study, right?
Yeah.
But what y'all do?
We get a win somewhere else.
Yeah, like, listen, I'm about to go beat up somebody on Black Ops, right? Or I'm about to go, we figure out something to,
We're gonna accomplish something.
but think about it. And let's be real here. Let's just be real. A rejected woman, how do y'all feel when y'all get rejected by anybody? Huh? Say it.
Life's over.
Thank you. It's like life is over. It's like life is over for y'all. Now imagine when your man does it. Some rando at the gas station can reject you, right? Because he didn't want to give you a paper bag or a plastic bag or whatever. But imagine when your husband does that, where you go. You automatically go into, oh my God, he has a second rib. Who is she? Right? That's the first thing that, man, wait a minute. Hold up. You start to do what? Start to second question yourself. Right? That thing hits y'all. I mean, okay, let's do this real quick. Let's rewind. Am I telling the truth? Tell the truth and shame the devil, right?
Shame the devil.
Am I telling the truth or am I capping? If I'm capping, tell me I'm capping. I'll stop the cap right now. I'll let him finish the class. I'll let Shadak finish the class. He got it. Right? No, really, I want y'all to think about this. It's important. Because these are the things that aid in destroying relationships. Right? Because then, if you're not dealing with me on a physical level, how do I combat that? How do I do what the Bible says not to do and go railing for railing? Ooh. How do I do it? Come on, I need y'all to be honest. How do you do it? She rejects you, what do you do? Okay, he rejects, huh?
The same thing.
But in what way? In what way? Because we deal differently. Come on. Oh, y'all are acting like y'all,
Like
bruh.
she rejected me.
Yeah.
So you want nothing anyway.
But now think about it. We dealing with husband and wife. We not dealing with jump offs. Right? I'm just saying. No. We dealing with, but not. See, I'm saying that because not everybody, not everybody in here got a rib, right? So you married brothers need to be answering this and stop playing. You know what you do. She calls, bruh, busy.
Wow.
She hit you up the next day for something. You're like, I ain't dealing with her. Right? You start to cut communication. Because why? You know that's what she needs is your attention. So you reciprocate by not giving her what she needs to promote her goodwill. She needs your attention. And she may not realize that in her lack of not giving you what you need, that it's hurting you, right? She may not realize that, but you feel it. You feel it. You like, nope, I'm about to render evil for evil. I'm not answering the phone. She texting, right? Man, listen, I'll see you later. Man, y'all acting like I don't know things. I'm a man too, right?
Ben, you want me to get that for you? No,
I'm good.
Get myself.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Like with that, like, when she tries to now bridge that gap or like to make amends, you minimize it because you've already been hurt. Like you already the benevolence that was supposed to be doing to you. You're like, well, nah, you shut it down. You minimize it.
But like she cooking food and it's like, you hungry? Like, no, I'm good.
Right.
And then 5 minutes later, you go cook something for yourself.
Right.
Damn. She's like, well, what the? So you start to rescind her duties. Because you're like, well, if you ain't doing this, then you ain't got to do nothing for me. Right? It's childish. You get childish sometimes. How do women do it? The same way. The same way. Right?
What's wrong with you? None.
None.
You seem like something's off when you bought something bought. No, I'm good.
None. I'm good. No, once you go ask her what's wrong. Like, her who? What the fuck? Like, what are you talking about her? Who's her? You know who she is. It's like, what? All of a sudden, there's a whole nother woman involved. Because you didn't, because, right? That's how women function, though. Their mind automatically goes to, if he's not dealing with me, that means he got somebody else. Right? I'm trying to get y'all to think about, sometimes, let me show y'all something. Sometimes this happens unconsciously. This is why Paul had to remember, he's dealing with a church here. He had to remind the folks in the church, don't get too caught up. Don't forget about your partner, right? Don't do it purposefully, but don't do it unconsciously either. Because unconsciously it can happen. You get busy, you moving and grooving, and you leave her in the dust. And she back there suffering, can't breathe. And you sitting like, you wondering like, you thinking like, oh yeah, she's with me, she's running. And you look over and she's scraped up, beat down, and you're like, what the hell's going on with you? And she's like, all you do is ignore me. You too busy over here with them. You too this, you too that. Right? Let's be real. We understand that we got to build unity, right, with the brothers. Brothers got to build a unity, sisters got to build a unity. But I can't be with brothers 24/7. That's impossible. Not when I got a family, right? Now, there's a higher dedication to the brothers where, it's like an 80-20 thing, right? It's like a 60-40 thing, right? But even that, you got to be aware. Like sometimes, y'all be straight up with y'all. Sometimes I got to get off the phone with brothers so I could, like yesterday, I had to run up out of here. We were sitting there talking to brothers. I was like, look, I got to go. Because if I don't catch this woman, she's going to fall asleep. I'm not going to wake her up to have some conversation. So let me run real quick while she's up. Because why? Promoting that goodwill. She got to be up extra early. She goes to bed late, right? So I got to make sure that I'm not, I got to make sure that, she's getting adequate rest. To have to run around these streets, right? And be at work and then be at class and then be at garments and then be, rap to the sisters. And so I got to do things that promote her goodwill so that she can keep doing good. But I'm not gonna walk in at 3 in the morning, wake her up, hey, get up. Let's have a talk. And then she gotta be up in 2 hours. Like, that don't make no damn sense. Right? It gotta be about respect. We talked about that. So, but I had to I'm like, look, y'all got this? Come, let me go deal with this situation. And guess what? All it was for me to for her to download to me things that she was talking to other sisters about. That's it. It wasn't like I was trying to go, hey, boo, how you do? Nah, it was, okay, what you talk to her about? What you talk to her about? How'd this go? How'd that go? Camp stuff. Because that's what it always goes back to. You see that? Where we at? Read it again.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 5.
Right.
Defraud ye not one the other.
Go ahead.
Except it be with consent.
Right, except it be, so the defrauding or the holding back the benevolence can only happen if we consent. It can't be like, oh, I'm going on a fast tomorrow and I didn't tell you. And then it's like, hey, babe, oh, I'm on a fast, don't touch me. What? When did we? You always on a fast, sis, damn. You like, damn, Judith.
No, it's me.
Judith, like, you fasting. The only time you ain't on a fast is Sabbath Eve. Dang. Whew. You always on a fast. Wow. And how come I'm not being privy? You see what I'm saying? Like, remember, we do have our duties to the Most High, right? But just look at it like this. Did the Most High set all this up? Because remember, he set up marriage, right? Did he set us up to serve and worship him just for our marriages to be destroyed? Isn't our marriages part of worshiping him? So wouldn't it make sense that the Most High set all this up for it all to flow together? Right. See, our problem is we don't know how to let it flow together. We don't know what let's be real. Now, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. We got to be real about something. We were never taught how to be in marriages, right? We were never taught how to be married in the eyes of the Most High. We are never taught how to make our marriages honorable. We were taught, like, we were half taught, right? Again, you saw certain things from your parents, but was everything that they did in the Bible, was it all founded biblically? No, not all of it. Some things, they had some wisdom in their marriage, some of them, right? But did they literally sit us down and walk us through the scriptures and show us how to show a man what he should be, a woman what she should be? No, they didn't. They didn't. And so now you're going through these marriages. We go through these marriages and we make these mistakes consciously, unconsciously, but it affects each other, right? Go ahead. He said, defraud not, except it be consent. Go ahead.
For a time.
Right. So I'll give you an example. It's one thing if I go to my rib like, hey, babe, I'm going to Rochester for a month. What does that mean? You ain't gonna get none of me for a month or 3, right? And she's like, Con, that's part of the job. I get it. We've consented. We've talked. We've done that. So now, guess what we get to do in that? I get to prepare my mind and my loins for that month or that 3 months or whatever it is. She gets to prepare her mind, her loins, right?
Build up that iron armor.
You got to build up that iron armor, right? Right? You got to you get into your celibacy. Yeah. You get into celibacy mode, right? As soon as brothers here like, hey, we need you to go somewhere, all of a sudden it's like that armor builds up. You're like, oh, okay. I see what this is about to be. I got to turn into a tank. You build up that armor, but then she has to do the same thing, right? But at least you know what? 3 months, a month, right? It's not something that just was sprung on you because a person is pissed off that night, or because a person's in their feelings that day, or that week, or that month, or that 6 months. Ooh, 6 months? Damn, that ain't no marriage. That ain't no marriage. 6 months? Damn. Right? Like, that's not a functioning marriage. But see, there's a consent that has to be there. Like Paul is letting us know. Because yes, our duties do come first. I'm gonna keep saying it, they come first. But the Most High didn't intend for your duties to destroy your marriage. So what we gotta do now? Communicate. We gotta do all the things besides the intimacy that our relationship was built on. Communication, transparency, trust. We gotta implore all those things, right? And those things have to suffice for the lack of intimacy for that time, for that 3 months, for that 2 months, for that month, where that brother might have to go to another city. But we do it. We do it. We do it all the time. He just left 3 months. He was gone, right? I think I was the last one that was gone for a time. Yeah, I was gone for a summer, 3 months, right? Mm-hmm. But we consent on that. We consent, and the minds are now aligned on that, right? But like, you're not going home tonight like, listen, sis, I'm on a fast. Shalom.
Oh man.
8 months, sis. Boom. She's gonna look at you like, nigga, what? What are you talking about? Who did you like? We didn't talk about that. How was she supposed? Or you're not gonna go home and be like, I was thinking that we should go on a fast. And then all of a sudden you enact the fast. Boom, 1 year.
Oh.
What's he supposed to do in that year? What's he supposed to do in that year? Yeah, so you sign right here. Right? Bill of divorce. Go ahead, your signature right here, I'll sign right here, and look, I might as well just be alone. Not even. I might as well just be alone.
Like hall pass. Extended.
Right. Might as well just be alone if that's the case. Because what's the point? You like, come on, think about it. Just think about this. You got a husband and a wife, they lay in a bed together. They just gotta, like, he gotta just deal with that. He just gotta deal with that every night, just laying there. Nothing's going on. How's a man supposed to take that? How's a woman supposed to take that? Right? I mean, just think about it. We're not animals, but we're not robots either. Right? The Most High didn't create us as these like prudish ass people. Remember in Egypt, they was trying to kill off all the babies. What did they say about the Hebrew women? They were lively. They was having too many babies to kill off. That was the point. Like, how come y'all ain't killing all the babies? Because they keep having them. They keep producing. They keep reproducing. Right? Now, again, I'm not saying that we're animals and that's all that this life is supposed to be. But think about it. There's so many things that are not comfortable, right? There's so many things that we don't have. We should at least be able to have each other, right? A husband and wife should have a functioning marriage. Think about it. It's no different than if you had all the intimacy in the world, we took away communication. Oh, it's the same thing, ain't it? Yeah, we do all the physical, but then guess what? He don't talk to me. Because you see that a lot. And isn't there a complaint? Yeah, we do all the physical, but she don't open up to me. So you see where I'm trying to give y'all a balance here, where it's not about one thing over the other. There could be a defrauding in a lot of different things. Because one of the worst things is for a woman not to be able to open up to her husband. What does that show? Doesn't that show a lack of trust? Doesn't that show a lack of faith in that man? Doesn't it show a lot of childishness in that woman? Well, sis, why don't you talk to him? Well, I just don't trust him. Well, you labeled him. Yeah, but I don't trust him. Like, what man wants to hear that? Like, I'm good enough for that, but not that. But then, again, I'm good enough to talk to, but not that. Right? When the Most High created us as this fine-tuned weapon to be able to do this, do that, do that, do this, do that, and be balanced. That's what he created us to do, is be balanced, right? Right. So then now you're taking the man out of his purpose, and vice versa, the woman could be taken out of her purpose. Go ahead, read on.
That ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer.
See that? But it got to be a consent. It got to be a consent. It can't just be I'm fasting and praying and you over there suffering and burning. Because what is going to bring on that fornication? The lack of consent, the lack of consenting, the lack of being in one mind and one judgment, one spirit. Go ahead.
And come together again.
Right.
That Satan tempt you not.
Who's there?
Satan.
Who's there in your lack of consent?
Satan.
Who's there when you defraud?
Satan.
You see that? Satan is right there waiting to do what? To continue to drive a wedge into that relationship, to throw evil suspicion in her mind, to throw an evil suspicion. Because men think it too. Oh, she don't want to get it? Man, well, who she messing with? Then you start to try to line up all the dots. Well, yeah, she came home late the other night from work, and you know what I'm saying? And she says, and all of a sudden now you start to develop an evil eye and an evil suspicion. And that's all Satan. That's what he wants us to do. He don't want the relationships to work. That's why he gave sisters the authority over the man. That's why he did what he did with Eve. That's why he gives y'all certain amenities to be able to excommunicate us out the house. He don't want the relationship to work, but then think about it. If you're doing Satan's bidding, are you not an agent of Satan? Some of us are worse to ourselves than the white man can ever be. And that's what you don't want to be. You don't want to be the agent of destruction in your home. A wise woman, wise man build their house. But the wicked will pluck it down. Who's promoting the destruction of the black, Hispanic, and Native house? Is it not our enemies? It ain't just white people, right? It's Ham, it's Elam, it's Moab, it's Japhet, it's this. Everybody don't want to see us win. Everybody don't want to see a black, like, it's almost like, it's like kryptonite to the world to see a black man and a black woman with children, right? Or a Hispanic man with his wife and children. It's like kryptonite to see a black man get along with his wife that ain't white. Like, y'all see old boy? What's the nigga that played, he was playing this Marvel movie, man. The black dude that said that he beat up some woman.
Oh, Jonathan.
Jonathan, yeah. You know he got a white chick, right? Mm-hmm. She had a recording. She brought it out in court. He said he needed her to act like. He said, "Look, I need you to be submissive like Michelle Obama or Coretta Scott King. Like he want a damn pasty white woman, but he wants black attribute. Think about that. But the world promotes that, right? Go get you this Nook Amnesia queen, right? And then try to mold her into this submissive, righteous black woman. It ain't gonna work. Like Kim Kardashian is not humbling down to you niggas, man. She's just not. It don't matter how black she tries to act. She gonna act like a dog at the end of the day, right? She gonna be on to the next one at the end of the day. So it's kryptonite for them to see Ecclesiasticus 25 and verse 1, right? Somebody get it. It's kryptonite. It's kryptonite for them to see the nuclear family. That's why they put so much effort into destroying it in the 60s and in the 70s. If y'all don't understand the think tanks they used to destroy us in those times, man. Well, they literally were shutting down industries to get you niggas broke so that your wife could leave you. Read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 verse 1.
Go ahead.
In 3 things I was beautified.
Go ahead.
And stood up beautiful both before God and men.
See, God and men love this, but the white man hates this. Only some men, this is beautiful in their eyes. And what's beautiful to the Most High is hateful to his enemies. Read on.
The unity of brethren.
He hates the unity of black and Hispanic men. That's why they always try to drive a wedge, man. That's why they always, as soon as you doing good and you learning who you are, they send another simp nigga in to do what? To tell you that you not, oh, you ain't no Israelite. You ain't no, how come you don't go over there and fight with Hamas? How come you don't fight for your land? Like, they coming with some coon ass niggas, man. Coon pastors, Yeah, like how come you ain't over there fighting with them Israelis? You an Israelite, right? Like what the hell are you talking about, dummy? It ain't got nothing to do with us. We don't want the land of the homos right now. Not at all. That ain't our land. They said that land was going to be defiled and inhabited by devils and bastards. So we good right now. When Christ comes, we going to get it. But not right now. Go ahead.
The love of neighbor.
They hate that. They hate it. Only when they're friendly to their neighbors is it good. But as soon as two black men are buddy, rubbing elbows, no fighting, they send somebody in, bro, because they hate this for us. That's why they throw drugs in the community. Go ahead.
A man and a wife that agree together.
Oh my God. Yeah. They only want a black man to agree with a white woman or a Chinese woman. They only want the young Jeezys and Jenny Ma's. Why do they keep talking about it? They put their little whack divorce all over the tabloids like it matters. That nigga finally found out what he got. Finally. He should have been known when she was talking about the baby ain't got no gender when it was born. Bro, he should have been up. He should have been gone. Wow. But niggas love abuse, bro.
He said that.
She said that. And he was with it.
I remember when I heard that, I looked at him like
what Jeezy is?
I thought he was a street dude.
Thank
what
you.
Talking about?
I thought you was the snowman. Now you the hoe man. Now you the no gender man. Like
No man.
bruh. Now yeah, it's like what the hell is going on? But see, that's what they want for our people. But if it's an Israelite man and a woman, oh no, that can't be. We gotta nope. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Lower the price of PlayStation. Make them game, you know what I'm saying? The Play Store, make that free. Let NBA 2K drop. Let this drop. Go ahead, start the NBA season. They make sure they give us everything to destroy that union, that companionship. Everything. Why do you think Pornhub is free? I mean, come on, man. They know niggas is gonna be on that. They know cats is gonna be on that defiling themselves and turning that into their relationship outlet. There was a time when, come on, pornography, you had to pay for that. Now they're like, nah, there's a whole hub. There's a whole hub. So it's a reason why it's called a hub. You can get whatever you want from that hub. If she ain't doing it, guess what? This internet chick will do it. This internet woman will do it. She's the woman of your dreams. If she don't look like that, well, we got a woman that looks like that. His back ain't strong. Well, this dude on the internet, his back is real strong. You'll never get him. You can only look at him. That's insane. But that's what our people turn to. It's fornication on a high level, right? You can drop that. Finish up. We got 10 minutes. And it's right on time. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 5.
Right. Go ahead.
That Satan tempt you not for your incontinency.
Right. Look up the word incontinent. And I'll tell you right now, it means you can't hold your bladder. To be incontinent, go get you a diaper. That's what it means. You can't hold yourself. Right? You got to go get you a Depends. But let's see what it means in the context of what we're reading. Go ahead.
Incontinence.
Right?
Want of restraint.
Right. You need some restraint. See, Satan is going to test you for you restraining yourself without having content. Or without having consent. Excuse me, consent. Without having consent. I'm restraining myself from you. But did we agree? Now Satan is involved. And then what is he going to do now that I've restrained myself from my husband? Where's my husband's outlet going to be? It's going to be in something fornicated related. He's going to go to the pornography. He's going to be strolling and eyes wandering in the mall. He's going to be picking up randos on the street, little chicks at the gas station, right? He's going to be in the grocery store in the female goods aisle. What you doing in the tampon aisle, bro? What you over there for? Right? What you over there for? Yeah, bro. Listen. Seen it all. Read on. Where'd you meet her at? I was in the female, what do they call it? The feminine product aisle. What you over there for? I was just, That's where they be at.
Yeah.
That's where they be at. Like, damn, really? Walgreens or CVS? No. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
Want more on this continent?
Yeah, I want more.
Okay. Want a restraint
Right?
of the sexual appetite,
See that? You can't restrain your sexual appetites. Go ahead.
free or illegal indulgence of lust,
Go ahead.
lewdness.
Because that's what it leads to when we defraud one another. And when we continually do that. Now, listen, I've been defrauded my whole life. So, what I'm going to say is, even though you might be going through this in a relationship at some point, because we all are, this is not an excuse to go now hop on the internet or pick up some random chicks or, oh, you know what? I need me a second wife. Hell nah. You don't go through the same thing. Even with the second wife. And you're gonna have 2 women that ain't messing with you. And 3 women. And you're gonna be like, what the hell? Because it's not about, you know, sometimes the Most High wants to see how we deal with adversity. And how you take that idle time, or how you take what you feel like you're supposed to be getting and how you replace that with something good. The scriptures say, be not overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good. So what do? If I'm a man that's going through this, well, guess what? Build up your armor. Get up in this book. Show her that, look, I know you don't realize what's going on. I know you don't know how to love a man, but I'm going to have to love myself. I'm going to do the things that are going to still promote your goodwill. I'm going to study. I'm going to build myself. I'm going to build my spirit. That way now I can deal with you on a better level. I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm not going to render evil for evil. I'm not going to do nothing negative. Right? I'm not going to let Satan get that win. And that's what it's really about. Same thing with sisters. Right? Well, you know what? You ain't okay, you know what I'm going to do? Look, I'm going to have to build myself up. You're not going to go pray for another man like, Yahweh, give me another man. This nigga's whack. No, you're going to say, look, you know what? Let me improve me. Let me build me. What else you got?
Incontinency
Right.
in men is the same as unchastity in women.
See that? Unable to restrain discharges.
Oh, man.
Right. Right. One who is unchaste. I think you said it, not restraining the passions or appetites, particularly the sexual appetite. Indulging lust without restraint or in violation of law. Lewd. You become lewd. Now you just out there doing any old thing because you know what? She ain't doing it. That's what the world teaches us, right? What one person won't do, how does it say? What one person won't do, somebody else will. Right. Some of us has really adopted that principle. And you living by that, like, well, gotta get it how you live. Like, bruh, that's a setup. Because how you getting it is wrong. You see that? What was that? You have something?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Synonyms for incontinent.
Right?
Masturbatory.
Oh, wow. Masturbatory. Right? Go ahead.
Carnal.
Right?
Fleshly.
Read.
Sensual.
Yeah, it's all, it becomes now, everything now becomes about the flesh.
Self-indulgent.
And that's why you can't allow it to get to that place. Right? Even if a person's not aware of themselves, they're not aware of what they're doing, you got to be self-aware. And you can't become fleshly because your wife is not fulfilling her duty or because your husband's not fulfilling his duty. You can't now become fleshly and make it all about that. You see that? Go here real quick. And this is what we got to understand. Go to Titus 2 and 3.
God. Titus chapter 2, verse 3.
Somebody else get me 1 Corinthians 7:32. Read Titus.
Titus chapter 2, verse 3.
Right.
The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
Go ahead.
Not false accusers.
Go ahead.
not given to much wine.
Right, and this is all attributes of an aged woman, not necessarily old, aged in the spirit. You could be 90 years old in the spirit and be 40 years old in actual flesh life. It's about maturity. This is what this is talking about. A mature woman. Go ahead.
Teachers of good things,
Teachers of good things, read.
that they may teach the young women to be sober,
Right?
to love their husbands.
Yeah, see, there has to be a teaching on how to love your husbands because a lot of women, 99% of y'all don't know how to love your women. What else?
To love their children.
You don't know how to love your children. Because when it's time for you to show the ultimate love, which is in that form of a sacrifice, what do you tend to do? We tend to make it about ourselves. You go back and you make it about you and why you can't and why this and why but me and but you know but then but it's like, wait a minute. No greater love than what? No greater love than what?
The man laid down his life for his brother.
Right. Listen, that's sacrifice. That's all it's saying. I'm gonna lay down that sacrifice for you. I'm gonna sacrifice time, money, energy, whatever it is that you need, right? Because I mean, when you boil it all down, isn't that what it all equates to? The sacrifice. Brothers is giving up money. Brothers is giving up time. Brothers is giving up resources, right? We're all doing it on some level for each other. We should be, right? Some sacrifice at the present moment is greater than others, but then guess what? That might change. Everyone's sacrifice becomes an equal sacrifice, right? An equal burden. But think about a woman that don't want to sacrifice for her husband. Think about a man that don't want to sacrifice for his wife. Again, unconsciously and consciously, we do these things. You say it, man, I ain't doing that, I'm tired. But then sometimes you just moving and grooving and you like, man, bruh, it's da-da-da-da-da-da, and you just don't do certain things anyway, and you forget. So, we didn't really talk the way I wanted to. Y'all capped on me. Y'all didn't want to give me no input. If this was Ezekiel 38, 37, y'all was gonna be all talk. I should have had y'all break this down for me. I would have got more reciprocation. See, y'all didn't give me the due benevolence. It's terrible. Y'all making me feel a certain way like y'all don't like me. See that? See? Y'all defrauded me of y'all's convo, man. Come on. Again, there's a reason why that's in the scriptures because it's a proper reminder for our relationships. The aged woman teach, right? Because remember, you know why some of us lack in these departments? You weren't taught. You didn't see it. You didn't see your parents show love and affection to each other, right? You didn't see your parents do that. So for you, it was weird. For you, it was like, ooh. And then now at your old age, you're programmed a certain way. But you got to unprogram because that's part of a marriage, right? Go to where you're at.
Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 32.
Go ahead.
But I would have you without carefulness.
Right.
He that is unmarried.
I'd have you without carefulness. Don't think too hard. Don't be too, what does this mean? It ain't that deep. Go ahead.
Careth for the things that belong to the Lord.
See that? He that is unmarried care for the things that belong to the Lord. Read.
How he may please the Lord.
Come on.
But he that is married,
right,
care for the things that are of the world.
Or she that is married care for the things of the world. Meaning what? It's not a world in the sense of the world, the wicked world. The world here would be your husband or your wife. It's showing you that you got to care for them also. Your duty to the Lord don't stop because you're married, but now you got to bring that person along and look for their goodwill, and now both of you serving the Lord. Remember, they twain become one. So now we're not two servants, we're one servant. Watch, read on.
How he may please his wife.
See that? You care for the things of the world. It's not a I know y'all like the world, but it says all that in the world is the lust of the eyes, the flesh. No, it's not world in the sense of wickedness, right? It's world in the sense of you are going to cater to some of those more carnal desires.
Yeah.
Right? Those worldly desires, right? I got to spend time with her. Think about it. What's the things of the world when it comes to a marriage? You got to spend time with your rib, right? You can't take her to Walmart on a date every time. You can't do like what I do. Like every time we go on a date, it's the grocery store. Take it or leave it.
Oh, man. That's all we got.
Take it or leave it, sis. Right? The Most High will provide time for us. But it's a cap because let's be real. Right? When I went to Florida the other day, my rib was with me. We had a vacation. Right? We went on dates. We went to that wedding out there. She came with me and we was chilling. Right? So it ain't like we don't do nothing. It ain't like we don't get no time. But listen, it ain't like what the world is on where it's like every Friday is date night. Every Thursday is this. Every this is that. Nah. We busy. But there are things that you have to do for the promotion of your wife. Sometimes you got to break up the arena. You got to take her into a different arena to get a better conversation. Pull her out the house. Pull her out of this. Hey, let's go over here to your restaurant, the Lemongrass Cafe. Right? It's my rib's favorite restaurant. Lemongrass Cafe, and let's go eat a burger. Right? And we go, we sit, we eat a burger, we get some pizza, we get a drink, and we just chop it up. We chill. Yeah. Sometimes you got to do that. Like, it can't always be like, nah, sis, we ain't got no dough, we ain't got no time, we ain't got nothing. But this house, these four walls, oh, hell no. Ain't that a song?
That's a song.
These four walls. Bro, that's like jail. It's like you got to break, like, think about it. Don't brothers need different arenas and atmospheres? Don't we do that with brothers? Like, hey, let's slide over here real quick. We'll meet at the school. We'll do. Hey, let's hit Bar Louie real quick. Let's hit this over here real quick. We do it because brothers need that. But think about it. Your wife needs that too. Your kids need that too. Right? It's about, at the end of the day, promoting their goodwill. You got anything to add? Any questions?
Oh, I got a lot to add, but we don't got no time.
Right? Right on time. All right, told me she had to. Damn. Okay, don't worry yet. That's what's up. All right. So remember, Hanukkah starts mañana at sundown. Right there, how about Shinyan Shai, Feast of Dedication? Dang. It starts tomorrow. Wow, that is crazy. But yeah, we got that tomorrow. Again, if you want to join us, I think our first night we're gonna be here. We got like some nights set up. We'll announce it on the chat. We're gonna be here. I know we're gonna be here tomorrow. Probably around 7 or 8 o'clock. So get ready for that. Party all night. Party all the time. Party all the time. You know what I'm saying? DJ Feast, DJ Domino's, right? So that's about to get Domino's slaughtered. So in 8 days, if there's a few brothers missing, it's because Quatazop's domino game destroyed their spirits. All right, so it's all good. We might be calling for some replacement brothers. So you brothers in Rochester and VA, we might need a few brothers to come out to replace him. You know what I'm saying? And any other domino capper that's a gun, domino cappers that step up on the table. All right, so that's what we're gonna be doing. Right? So
See, you know, so I would don't add me in now. Because he didn't mention me because he already knew how tight the game is.
Yeah, because what it is, you don't mention a threat. Like who gives any credit to the threat, to the non-threat?
Okay, so
yeah, to the non-threat, you like
So there's so much of a non-threat, you crush them so easily.
You just like
Is that what you're saying?
You just like you like a non-threat. Like
No, he didn't mention because he's hoping that I'd be on his side. It's like if I don't mention.
Wait, hold up, real quick question. So the brother asks, are we supposed to rest from sex at a certain point? Yeah, you can fast. Like we just read it, you can fast right? Go there, go back there real quick. Yeah, you can fast, but remember, your wife has to agree to the fast. You can't just, oh, I'm on a rest period. Shalom. What's she supposed to do? So read it. Read verse what? 5? Read that. First Corinthians 7 and verse 5.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse
So
5.
the question is, do we rest from sex? Yes, because on the Sabbath, there's no intercourse. On certain feast days, like we got to check for tomorrow, if tomorrow is a Sabbath. But certain feast days, the beginning and the end of the feast, there's no intercourse. So yeah, there's times when we rest from intercourse with our wives, right? And yes, you can go on an extended fast. If you see that physical is now interfering with other things in the relationship, then yeah, you can go on a fast and say, you know what, let's get our spirit in check. Read that.
Defraud ye, not one the other.
But it can't be in a fraudulent way. I'm just going to take this from you and that's it. Go ahead.
Except it be with consent.
Right. Remember, the world teaches us that sex is a weapon. And how do they weaponize it against the man? Well, they teach women to withhold from the man. Right? But they also teach men now to withhold from the women. I'm going to cut her off. Right? I'm cutting them off. We're not supposed to roll like that. It says defraud not except for with consent. Go ahead.
For a time.
For a time, a reasonable, agreed upon time. You might say, you know what, let's work on our relationship. Let's take the physical part out of it, and let's just go back to rebuilding that friendship. Right? That's also a strategy in marriage counsel. When you realize that a person, when two people got together too fast, and it was all about that, you might say, look, y'all need to cut that off and get back to relearning each other on a friendship level. Cut the physical for 3 months, build up that relationship. Go ahead.
That ye may give yourselves to fasting.
There it is. So you can go on a fast. Go ahead.
And prayer.
Right?
And come together again.
Right, but you have to, if you do rest, you do have to come back together at some point. Go ahead.
That Satan tempt you not for your incontinency.
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 Because Satan is there waiting for you to get to the point where you can't contain and make you fall. He's there. He's waiting. Where good is, evil is also present. So you got to know, if I'm going to go on a fast, but I'm going to hold to that fast, I can't sign up for 6 months if I can only hold myself for a month or 2 months. You got to know these things about each other, and you got to agree. And then once you agree, now you can help each other to fight through those times of weakness. But then that's communication and trust. And there's another level of intimacy that's not a physical, but a spiritual intimacy where you can really trust a person and really be transparent and not feel like if I tell you this, you're going to use it to destroy me in the next argument. Right? So I hope I answered your question. All you got to do is just go back over the class if you came late. You know what I mean? I know these classes be sometimes, you know what I mean? But we need these classes.
Right.
Church ain't gonna teach us this. So the Bible teaches us this stuff. So again, any other questions? Before we shut it down for the next few days. All right. Well, if there's nothing else online, let me make sure. I don't think there's anything else online. All right. With that, let's say shalom to everybody. Shalom. See y'all next week. Everybody else, I mind you upon y'all. Shalom.